ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and welcome back to the cold waters of the Norwegian coast. So, today we have a rather interesting mission. We have confirmation that a Soviet submarine is attempting to slip a force of commandos into a naval base that is under Allied control. We need to prevent this from happening, but the problem is we don't know exactly what submarine they're coming in on, or exactly when the submarine is going to arrive. At this point in time, I have 3 submarine contacts on the world map, and I've selected my first one to go and engage. At this point, we've managed to identify at least one of the submarines. There is a November. We have 2 sonar contacts at this point, but we have only just arrived in the area, so I do want to take my time here and just make sure that these are the only 2 contacts and we're not missing somebody. So at this point, current depth is 240 feet. Currently 25 down on the planes, 10 down on the ballast, trying to drop our depth down to an equal level with that November. Alright, so we're leveling out the dive planes. I'm going to pull back on the ballast and I'm going to put us in a 15-degree right turn, or starboard turn. Now what I'm going to try and do here is bring us 90 degrees parallel to the contacts that we currently have. And the reason why is I just want to give the best possible sensor resolution to the towed sonar array that I possibly can. So traveling 90 degrees sideways gives us the biggest coverage, or the best coverage that you can get out of the towed array. Hopefully this is going to give us a better firing solution on S2, which I still suspect is a November, as well as allowing us to pick up S1, which has gone dark at this point. We can't see it. It's clearly in silent running as well. And that only took us about a minute, and we have picked up a sensor contact 1. So what have we got here? It's looking like another November. The November class, of course, being the Soviet Union's first nuclear-powered attack submarine. These were first constructed and put into service in 1957 and remained in service until around 1990-1991. So at the point that the game is taking place, these are right at the end of their service life. Technology-wise, they are completely inferior to a Los Angeles class, but in groups, they could potentially be dangerous. 2 Novembers on their own, though. Alright. Just getting a range. We're at 7.1. Not quite ready to fire just yet. Still only got a 47%, 48% solution. This is a little bit too low for my liking here. Stores. I've still only got 1 Moss. I'm actually getting very close to needing to go in for supplies at this time. I'm just about to run out of the Mark 48 torpedo. I'm slowly running low on noisemakers. I've only got 1 Moss left. Oh, I see you. New sonar contact, S3. Okay, so, well, it's definitely not a November. It's completely out of line for being in November. It's not a Victor 1. The end lines are just slightly too out. Maybe a Victor 2? Yeah, I reckon this is a Victor 2. So, 2 Novembers and a Victor 2. It's actually quite the interesting combination. The Victor 1 was the replacement for the November class of Soviet submarines. The Victor 2 was obviously its upgrade. It's actually got a little bit of interesting history for it, as it was technologically a failure. The Victor 2 went into service in the early 1970s. and was meant to be a technological upgrade on the Victor 1 hull in order to make it competitive with the new generation of US and NATO submarines that were coming out at the time. And the Victor 2 did feature a lot of upgrades. Fire control systems and weapon systems were upgraded, the sonar was upgraded, it had better radar equipment on board. Overall, the Victor 2 was a superior submarine. The problem is the Soviets didn't upgrade the propulsion system, which meant it was still using a very early nuclear submarine reactor and propulsion setup, which was very, very noisy. And we have a firing solution of 66%. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually take a shot at this one. We're going to get rid of this November. It's getting a little bit close. And we'll go about here. The torpedo will activate on its own at about half the distance. We still have wire control. I'm just going to continue maintaining course here. The November has heard the torpedo hit the water. It's starting to ping. Now, I did get a few comments in the last video. Once I started getting hit by sonar, why don't I go active? Well, at this point, the November can see where I am, and the other two submarines will be getting feedback from the November's active ping. But they won't have a clear reading on where I am. Only the November will have the best reading. So if I stay in silent running at this point, I'm still not giving much of a firing solution to the other two submarines at this time. I can go full active at the point when it's clear that they have a firing solution, but it is best to not immediately start cavitating and making a shitload of noise, even when your position has been at least partially revealed. The torpedo has gone active and has acquired the November. It seems to be tracking well. And there she is. She's cavitating. She's trying to run. She knows what's coming. Mark 48s against Novembers. This is almost unfair. Actually, what am I talking about? Almost. It is unfair. So there's their decoy in the water. The Mark 48 is not going to pay any attention to that. Yeah, that's it. It's over. First kill. So at this point I'm still dropping my depth a little bit here and turning towards the Victor 2. I want to start closing the distance on it just a little bit and also set myself into a position so that I am ready to maneuver against incoming torpedoes, since, well, as I just said, it is possible that they have got a firing solution on me now, but I won't know until they actually fire. I'm hoping that they don't, which is why I'm still trying to remain silent. At this point, with that November destroyed, the active pings are now gone. With the explosion, an exact lock on my location should have just vanished. 95% firing solution on the Victor 2, so she is an easy kill at this point. Well, I say that, but she could still maneuver. Right, so torpedo 1 in the water, and actually I should have pulled the nav point for that back a little. Oh shit, the wire broke as soon as it left. That's going to be activating really late. I should have activated that a lot closer to my location. I don't have control of that torpedo anymore. Ah, well, no matter. Next one out. And the wire broke on that one straight away as well. I'm not maneuvering. Well, double wire break, that's a little bit of bad luck, but the torpedoes are on their way, so now we just sit back and wait. I'm going to bring the Los Angeles to a full stop, I think. Looks like the Victor 2 has detected the torpedo and knows what's coming. It's turned away and has gone to flank speed, so it is cavitating. Whether it realizes it or not, it's just made itself an even bigger target at this point. And he's actually just saved my torpedo. If he had turned into my torpedo, because I put the nav point so close to the location of the Victor 2, he likely would have managed to pass the torpedo before the torpedo armed, and it would have just snaked off into the nether without actually acquiring a target. But because he's turned away and gone to flank speed, he's not only giving a massive signature for the torpedo to lock onto, but he's pulled away from the arming navigational point, which is going to allow the torpedo plenty of space to go active and begin to track him. And there it is, Torpedo 1 has just gone active and has immediately acquired the Victor 2. You can see it on the map. If he had turned left, he would have been well up past where the torpedo armed. And since I had no wire control, I couldn't manually arm beforehand. Now, Torpedo 2 should be just about to go active. That one I'm less confident about at this point. Looks like I severely underled the November. So we're tracking beautifully on the Victor. And there we go, Torpedo 2 just went live, and no, it looks like it did pick up a target. It seems to have locked the November. We still can't see the November at this point, but it does look like it's acquired. The Victor 2 is actively pinging at this point, trying to work out what the hell is going on. Now this is the location that the November is supposed to be at this time. Actually, the torpedo is supposed to be passing the location of the November at this time, according to... Oh, no, there it is, it's just changed position. And you can see the countermeasure drop in front of the torpedo, and the Mark 48 is designed to detect a countermeasure drop and then turn to avoid it, and then turn back in to attempt to reacquire the submarine. November cavitating this close to the surface, it is noisier than the noisemaker. The Mark 48 has already reacquired and closing in. Back to the Victor 2, and he's just dropped his countermeasures and is turning. And the November gets lucky. Torpedo cuts in across its wake. Sorry, Victor 2, you're out. And there goes the November. So that's my 2 targets eliminated at this time. Now I doubt there's going to be anything more than 3 submarines operating in this area. If there were, I would have detected them by now. So at this point, I think we'll slip out to the mission results and see whether or not I got my transport submarine. Sadly, the results come back with a no. While this was an excellent set of kills, confirmed 2 Novembers and a Victor 2, these weren't the submarines we were looking for. So heading south, as you can see, moving down the Norwegian coastline, we do have another submarine unit moving south. I have absolutely no idea whether or not this one is our target, but we shall find out in the very next video. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. Please remember, if you would like to support the channel, feel free to check me out on Patreon. Otherwise, remember to click that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, dive smart, dive safe, and I'll catch you in the depths.